Howdy, my name is Lori Walker, and I'm here with Reagan Crabb, who is a sophomore business major here at Texas A&M, and I just have a couple questions. Okay, you can just answer yes or no.
Perfect.
So, did your family own a home for the majority of your childhood?
Yes.
Were you raised in an area where there were public displays of prostitution and drug activity?
No.
Did you have a park in your neighborhood that was safe and had good quality equipment to play on?
Yes.
Did your family live in a neighborhood with good access to bike paths and public transportation?
No.
Did you live most of your life with access to air conditioning and or heating?
Yes.
Did your family feel comfortable turning on air conditioning and heating at any time?
Pretty much.
Did you ever have to skip a meal or were hungry because there was not enough money for food?
No.
Were there more than 50 books in your house when you grew up?
Yes.
Did you get regular medical checkups each year?
Yes.
Including dental and mental health?
Yes.
Did one or both of your parents complete a college degree, at least a bachelor's?
Yes, both.
Are your parents employed in high prestige or high status occupations, like lawyer, medical,
No.
professor? Did your parents bring you to art galleries or plays?
Yes.
Could your parents afford to get you private lessons if you were struggling in school?
Yes.
Did you have a chance to take the SAT or ACT more
Yes.
than once? Were you able to apply to several colleges without worrying about application costs?
Yes.
Did one or both of your parents spend any time unemployed while you were growing up?
Yes.
Have one or both of your parents ever been arrested since you've been alive?
No.
Did you know and regularly see your grandparents?
Yes.
Did you attend private or go to a private summer camp? Private school or go to a private summer camp?
Yes.
Did you, prior to age 18, take a vacation out of the country?
Yes.
Did you, prior to age 18, ever fly on an airplane?
Yes.
Did you, prior to age 18, need to get a job to help support your family?
No.
Have you ever received a good job because of your association or connection with a friend or family member?
Yes.
Have you ever inherited money or property?
I don't think so.
Okay, awesome. So, my first question is, which three privileges do you feel were the most influential in your life?
Out of all those ones listed, or just in general?
Just in general.
I think the first privilege that I think of is having two married parents, or parents that are married to each other. And I just think that that's a very big privilege that not a lot of people have. A dad and a mom who both are married and involved in the family. And then I would say, I don't know if this kind of goes with that, but then the second privilege would be having a stay-at-home mom. I think that that's a privilege that not a lot of people have or can afford. And either stay-at-home mom, or I guess that could be a nanny too, but that my parents were able to support our family on one income and just have my mom stay at home, I think is a very big privilege. And then I would say the third privilege would just be financially. We never had to worry about food. Obviously my parents would stress about money, but I could always get new clothes if I needed them. We always had everything we needed. I mean, my dad didn't like to spend tons of money on AC as dads do, but it was never a problem. We were never in lack of anything or need.
Mm-hmm. All right, and how do you think your life trajectory would have been altered if you were not granted one, some, or any of the privileges identified?
I think my life would be completely different if I didn't have those privileges because, one, I think my mom being home really helped me to be the person I am and just to be able to talk to her and all of those things. But also just having a dad who was around too, I think instilled in me a lot of confidence and love that I was able to just feel secure in the person that I am. And then 3, with all the financial stuff, if we didn't have that, I wouldn't have been able to go to tutoring that I went to for my ACT scores, which I know a lot of people don't have the opportunity to do, which helped me get into better schools and things like that. And I was able to apply to college, and both my parents, this isn't what I listed, but both of them care about education and things like that, which I think is very big. And if my parents didn't have that, maybe I wouldn't have gone to college. I think my life would be completely different.
Mm-hmm. And my final question is, which privileges would you like to see afforded to everyone in the country to allow them greater opportunities to maximize their talents?
I think everyone, and I don't think this is realistic, but I think everyone would benefit from having 2 parents in the household. And whatever way that would be, I just think that that's a huge privilege. And I think there's a lot of problems with specifically dads not staying around, and that just causes a lot of issues within families and, correlates to a bunch of things with young guys and young girls just not being as stable as they would have been if they had had an active dad, and not just a dad but an active dad and things like that. But I don't think that's something you can just grant people, but something that is easier, I think, would be maybe more access to knowledge on education of things like take the SAT and here's some prep classes, and people being exposed to things like Khan Academy so that they can study and learning what that is and the impacts of that, and that you could go to college and things like that. I think a lot of that though comes from having parents who care about that stuff, which you can't just make people care about that, and not everyone needs to care about that. Not everyone needs to go to college and do all that. I just think it would be great if everyone had the opportunity to do that.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks.
Thanks and gig 'em.